What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune in and check out the content. And with that being said, man, so I just watched what's the guy named Too Raw, right? Too Raw for TV, and he basically was talking about how LeBron James is trying to make it seem like Cleveland is off the list, or and maybe it's a situation where they just trying to throw people off the track as far as like where he's going to go at, right? I don't know, but I do think that that like it's coming to an end for LeBron James. Like once he's out the league, people say this is the only way LeBron James can stay a part of the storyline is if he's in the NBA, and this is just proof of it, in my opinion. When you have like what's the guy name? Woj, is his name Woj or no Windhorst? I'm sorry, Brian Windhorst called into a radio show and said that that Cleveland is, he's hearing things about other places other than Cleveland, right? And he has sources where LeBron James is a basketball player, and people should be, people should be clamoring and making noise about like his basketball, like how he plays basketball, instead of him just trying to manipulate the media. This, this right here, like I said, it's gonna come to an end real soon. He's going to have to, whatever team he go to, he's going to have to make up his mind real soon as to what team he's going to play for, and how, and who he's, if he's going to bring his son with him or not, right? So let's listen to what Brian Windhorst had to say about LeBron James, and I'm gonna come back and give my opinion.
I want you to know that I'm hearing stuff in other cities too. I'm not going to say who, but I had somebody on the phone with me today that I consider a good source who was swearing it's a done deal in another city a couple hours ago. Okay. And so I am being very, very cautious. Right now, it's too scattered. I also know how LeBron has operated. They have kept their circle very tight. I understand that you can point to cupcakes and whatnot and say, no, people knew. I'm hearing rumors all day long, and all of them make some level of sense, and all of them make some level of not sense. But I'm just telling you, Cleveland is not the only place where there are rumors.
All right, so you heard Brian Windhorst, right? He, and so like I said, this is like LeBron James just trying to stay and keep himself relevant in the media. Whereas though the way, in my opinion, the way you keep yourself relevant in the media is just to be a great basketball player. So these, it's good for content. I got to say that. You have people wondering like, well, is LeBron going to go to Cleveland? What about LeBron in Golden State? Like, how does he fit in at Golden State? And I have always said, I think Cleveland is the best bet for him, right? Now, Golden State, if he chooses to go to Golden State, that's Steph Curry's town, and so no matter what LeBron James accomplished in Golden State, that he can't steal the show in at Golden State. Kevin Durant couldn't do it, and LeBron James at this stage of his career, in my opinion, won't be able to upstage Steph Curry. Like Steph, because of like it's just too much. That bond between Steph Curry and those fans there is just too strong. He won't be LeBron don't stand a chance of being able to upstage Steph Curry. And the thing about it, just like with Kevin Durant, Steph Curry don't even really have to say anything. So there won't be no pushback or anything like that, because it's when what's understood don't have to be discussed. Basically, everybody understand that is Steph Curry's town, and just say by some wild stroke of luck that they win a championship there. That'll be Steph Curry's 5th championship with the Golden State Warriors, and that'll be LeBron James' 5th championship, but with like 3 or 4, like with 4 different teams: Miami, Cleveland, LA, then the Warriors. So nothing LeBron James can do, even if he wins a championship, nothing he can do to upstage Steph Curry. So I don't think LeBron James wants to go there, right? Uh Now some people have mentioned Philly. I would be interested in seeing LeBron James in Philly with Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Jalen Brown. I would be interested in seeing that, but I don't know if that's going to happen with Philly. Like I said, it just to me it just seems like because of the storyline, LeBron James, Cleveland will be the bookend of his, like it'll be the beginning, the middle, and the end of his NBA career. He started his career there. Um, then he went back, won a ring, and now he'll be going back, in my opinion, to finish his career. So I think Cleveland, in my opinion, makes the most sense, right? What I think is going on now, though, I think behind the scenes, I think LeBron James wants to bring Bronny with him. No, wherever he go, he want to bring Bronny with him, right? And I'm gonna make a video about this, but I think that the Lakers they want to be compensated. They probably want some money for, they just signed Bronny to their guaranteed. They guaranteed, I think it was like $1.4 million, and I think the Lakers see a way where they can recoup some of that money that they gave Bronny, right? And so this is it's funny because they don't want to give LeBron James that 50 million, which I don't blame him, and then they want some of the money back that they gave his son, so this is going to be an odd situation for LeBron and how he work it out there. Whoever brings LeBron in is going to have to pay, in my opinion. I think they're going to have to pay to get Bronny. So, yeah, I think that the Lakers are holding Bronny ransom, and whoever, and I think there's some deals and some discussions and some conversations being made behind the scene with that. Lakers just not going to cut Bronny after they guaranteed his contract. Remember, LeBron James, he waited until after they guaranteed Bronny money. Then he made the announcement. Now, the Lakers were aware that LeBron James was going to do that. It's not like LeBron James, they savvy and they caught the Laker organization sleeping. They didn't. So I think that the Lakers organization be like, oh, okay, so y'all gonna do that? We got a trick for you, right? And so, I think that if LeBron James didn't wait until they guaranteed Bronny's money, I don't know if the Lakers probably just would have just released him. They might have just released him, but it's a game of cat and mouse, and so yeah, man. But I don't think that Cleveland is out of the running. I wouldn't want to see him go anywhere else, besides Cleveland. I just think like the narrative, in my opinion, for Cleveland just really fits, right? Some people even brought up San Antonio, right? I'm thinking with San Antonio, he don't really, you got this young team and that chemistry. I wouldn't want LeBron James to come in and disrupt their chemistry or stunt the growth of any of those guys, man. Yeah, I mean, he's just too big a personality for these guys that are developing, to if LeBron James was the kind of guy who would come in and be like, look, I'm gonna just come off the bench, I'm gonna be a great locker room type dude, then the Spurs would make sense. And I think that would probably be his best chance of getting a ring out of all these teams that, but he's just too strong of a personality to mix him in with those young guys with the Spurs. Now, some people have even brought up the Pistons. Well, what about the Pistons? Again, you got a young team, man, that's on the up and coming. I think, he would be a great point guard to play beside Cade Cunningham, right? But, I don't know. I just think I wouldn't take that chance of bringing him in. He's just too too strong a personality. You know, he's a dude that is set in his ways. So, in my opinion, I don't think Cleveland is off the list. I think Cleveland probably, and they just sit the highest on the list. What's probably slowing them down from signing with Cleveland is the money. You know, I think it's the money. And I think as soon as they can get some things worked out with the money situation, I think that, you know, LeBron James will make it. He'll be in Cleveland. That's what I'm thinking. That's where my money is at. My money is in Cleveland. So that's my take on it. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, man, I'm going to check y'all out in the next video. Peace.